Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of my series where I'm aiming to show you all of the books that I own. If you didn't watch part 1, that was my miscellaneous bookshelf tour. This time I'm going to be showing you all of my books on my bookshelf too. So this one actually has a bit of substance to it, unlike the last video where it was all miscellaneous books. I'll give you a little view of the bookcase so you can see what we're getting into, so here we go. So first up we have some Hunger Games books in my Hunger Games collection here. I have been through this before, so I'm not going to go through it in detail, but we have the Hunger Games Trilogy, The World of the Hunger Games, the Hunger Games Tribute Guide, the Hunger Games A to Z, then we have the Hunger Games and Catching Fire official illustrated movie companions, We Love You Stars of the Hunger Games, my colouring book, and that's it for the Hunger Games. Again, I won't go into it in too much detail because I have done videos on this collection. Moving on, we have my The Tudors collection. Again, I've done videos on this, but we have a couple of books here. The King, the Queen and the Mistress, King Takes Queen, Thy Will Be Done, and It's Good to Be King. So again, I'm not going to talk about them too much, but I have done videos on those before. So moving on to the second part of my bookcase, this is all of my books related to the Tudors. So again, I have done a video on all of my Tudor items before, I believe, but it seriously needs updating, so I might as well show you them all again here, just because I haven't done a video in a long time about the Tudor books that I own. So this one here is called The Great Tudor, and this is just about some stamps. It's just a stamp collection thing. Then we have British History, the Tudors and Stuarts here. This is one of my prized possessions and actually the oldest book I own. Costume and Fashion, Volume 3, The Tudors, Book 2, Norris. And I actually just want to spend a little time bringing this down to show you, because I was going to do a separate video on this, but it's just such a treasure of mine. As you can see, it's very badly damaged. I got this on eBay. A gentleman had unfortunately passed away, and he was huge into costume and fashion, so all his books were being auctioned off, so I had to get this one. It is incredibly fragile. As you can see, it's very yellowed and very aged. I don't want to be too harsh with it because it is very, very, very old. I'm just trying to find a date for you here. So this book was actually published in 1938. Just up there it says it. It's the oldest book I own. The pages are just yellowing and it's falling apart, but I love it so much. I'm huge into costume myself, and of course the Tudors, so this is perfect for me. I might do a review on this one day because it is a real gem for me. So if you want to have a full review of this book, then just let me know. So up top you will notice eventually that there's a lot of Philippa Gregory and Alison Weir here, but we have The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory, Anne Boleyn and Me, The Lady in the Tower, Alison Weir. Most of these are about Anne Boleyn because she is my favourite. The White Queen by Philippa Gregory, Mary Tudor by Anna Whitelock. Not many people talk about one of England's queens, Mary Tudor. She isn't as famous as Elizabeth I or Elizabeth II perhaps, but she was one of our queens. Then we have How to Be a Tudor by Ruth Goodman, The Other Tudors by Philippa Jones. That one's very interesting. That's about Henry's illegitimate children, so his bastards. And can I say that on YouTube? I've said it. And I mean, I'm not getting monetized anyway. And his mistresses. Then we have Catherine Howard by Josephine Wilkinson, Outlaw in the Tudor Court by Anne Herries. These are DVDs. The Little Book of the Tudors by Annie Bullen. This is like a horrible histories kind of thing. Henry VIII and His Wicked Wives. Defenders of the Faith by Jean Plaidy. Henry VIII by J.J. Scarisbrick. Again, this is another very, very old book. It's a Penguin classic, as you can see. Then we have Henry VIII, the Tudor Serial Killer, which sounds pretty interesting. The Princes in the Tower by Alison Weir, very, very famous. Six Wives by David Starkey, again a very famous historian. Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. The Lady Elizabeth by Alison Weir. The Taming of the Queen by Philippa Gregory. Three Sisters, Three Queens by Philippa Gregory. The infamous Lady Rochford, Jane Boleyn by Julia Fox. The Reign of Henry VIII, again by David Starkey. Tudor Book of Days. I absolutely love my Tudor Book of Days. Then we have Elizabeth and Leicester by, I couldn't read that then, by Sarah Gristwood. We have She-Wolves, England's Early Queens by Helen Caister. I have watched the documentary that they did for that. We have Sovereign by C.J. Samson there, I can't say names, you know I can't. Then here we have Vengeance is Mine by Brandy Purdy. I've heard very bad things about this book. This book is infamous. And you know me, the minute I heard bad things about it, I thought, I've got to get it and have a go. So I'll let you know how I feel about it. Apparently, Anne of Cleves and Catherine Howard have a lesbian relationship in it, so I don't know. We'll see. So then we have The Virgin's Lover by Philippa Gregory, Wars of the Roses by... oh, I'm not saying that. The Queen's Fool by Philippa Gregory. The White Queen, again, I've got this. I just showed you that up there. But they're different covers, okay? So, what can I say? Elizabeth of York by Alison Ware. The Taming of the Queen by Philippa Gregory. Again, I've got this twice, but one of them's hardcover. Young Henry, The Rise of Henry VIII by Robert Hutchinson. Between Two Worlds, The Story of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. Then we have two, like, baby history books here. A Horrible Histories one and another Horrible Histories one. So that's all my Tudor books, so down to the next section, which is Doctor Who. Now, I've spoken about Doctor Who a lot on this channel, and I have done various Doctor Who videos on my collection, so I'm not going to go too in-depth with this. Instead, I'm just going to give you an overview from the top, because I think this video would run far too long. So these are all the Doctor Who books that I own. You can see the covers there, and you can pause if you want to have a little look. They're actually magazines, so I'll skip over those. And then I have a couple more. There's a 3-box collection at the back there. And then if you can see it down there, oh, you can because the flash is on, there's a lot more books down here as well. So it starts just there, and we'll just take you down here. These are all books, like I said. And I think that is all of the Doctor Who books. Or should I say all of the ones I own? That's nowhere near all of the Doctor Who books that have ever been released. But yeah, I flicked through that fairly quickly for you. I think there's a Doctor Who Top Trumps book down there as well. The reason I went through that very, very quickly is just because I've spoken about all of these in a lot of detail in a previous video. So this video would have run far too long if I'd have gone through all those. So yeah, that is my bookshelf number 2. I'll just give you a quick overview of that. Like I said, if you haven't watched the previous video about my miscellaneous books, then I would really appreciate it. I am going to be continuing this series with bookshelf number 3, so I hope you enjoy it. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you like this kind of thing, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.